Hi, I'm Katie Lumbo, and welcome to the Vision High School Sports Beat.
The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us here at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at Section 5 sports in Monroe County, and we begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3, we have the Mercy Volleyball team, which keeps rolling towards its Wednesday showdown at Pittsford-Sutherland. The Monarchs are unbeaten. Therese Cannon had a big 23 kills against Cicero North Syracuse. At number 2, HFL girls soccer team is undefeated, 11-0. Riley Bartu had 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 3 games, pointing on 5 of the Cougars' 7 goals last week, all wins, obviously. And at number 1, we slot the Fairport boys volleyball team. The Raiders won the battle of the unbeatens with mighty Penfield in 4 games. Jamie Walmering and Troy Reardon combined for 33 kills in that one. Which brings us to Churchville Chili High School, where the ultimate team sport is graded on an individual basis in a story we call Going It Alone. Try to think of a sport which is more dependent on teamwork than cheerleading. You can't. Each member of the squad depends on every other member to do her job. So it's an out-of-comfort-zone experience to go it alone.
This team right now, this season, I could have picked any of them to compete under this pressure because I know they're all willing to do whatever it takes for their squad. So pretty much anybody on this team could compete under that pressure. Right now, it's a senior thing. So the 3 that actually did compete did an amazing job, and they handled competing in front of close to 1,000 people.
The Eddie Meath All-Star Football Game cheerleading tryouts break the ultimate team sport down to its basics and grade the candidates on an individual basis. 26 were chosen, all of them seniors. Churchville Chili's Kristen Poteet was the top finisher, posting a perfect score.
I was here early a lot for practices. I came in, stayed later after practices, and it's at home a lot. I'm constantly laying in bed. I found myself up to 1 in the morning, just running through my routine, playing music over and over for 2 weeks right before the competition.
Kristen has been a varsity cheerleader since the 7th grade.
I'm coming into a world full of older high schoolers, and I'm the little middle schooler, so it's definitely a lot of work, and it was definitely maturity level. You have to completely transform into almost a young lady, quote unquote, but it's a lot of work for sure.
Churchville placed 3 on the squad. Quite an accomplishment for an up-and-coming program that didn't even produce a candidate for the Meath game last year.
I actually get really nervous. But I don't know, and then something just takes over, and I know that I could do this and I have to do it, so I do it. And it's just a totally different feeling. If you mess up, it's all on you, and if you're in a team, you mess up, they might not notice. So it's actually pretty hard.
Does having good individual cheerleaders make for a better team?
Absolutely, yeah. I think being confident in yourself and what you do on your own and then bringing it to the entire team makes us what we are.
And they've raised the bar a little bit come sectional time as a team?
Absolutely, absolutely. Last year being in 4th place at sectionals compared to not placing in years past was phenomenal. And then coming in this year and having these girls take the top 17 spots, our 3 girls that competed, I think we're ready for sectionals.
Coming up, our Vision Making the Grade segment with Kim, and next, concussion consciousness.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Karsten, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now for our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3 this week, We have Andrea Allen from that star-studded Sutherland girls volleyball team. Sophomore setter at 44 assists in a 3-game win over Irondequoit. The Knights are 10-0. At number 2, Shannon Page of the Hilton girls cross-country team. Shannon won a 4-team race at Parma Park and led the cadets to a sweep of the first 5 places. Can you say depth? And at number 1, another cross-country runner. This is Josh Durland of Irondequoit. Josh won the 17-team Penfield Irondequoit Invitational and set a course record at Harris Wayland Park. Which brings us to Brockport and a football story we're getting considerably better at telling. We call it Inherent Risk.
1, 2, 3.
It took a while,
Nice job.
but Brockport senior Jordan Blocker is back on the football field.
I feel great. I just got to get my conditioning and stuff back up, seeing as I wasn't able to do anything for about 3 weeks. So other than that, I just feel normal. Glad to be back out here with the fellas, putting in hard work.
3 weeks earlier, it was a whole different story. Blocker had taken a blow to the head in a scrimmage and was left face down, semi-conscious on the field.
It wasn't really scary, but it was nerve-wracking, really.
Yeah. What was the sensation? Understand the tingling in the hands and the like?
Oh yeah, I just couldn't feel it. It was more of I don't really know how to explain it, but I just couldn't feel my arms.
You're standing in the stands, and you know at first it's like, oh, whose kid is it? And then when you realize that it's yours, your heart just drops to your feet. And when I saw the cell phone go up and I knew they were calling another ambulance, that's when I knew that I needed to be on the field.
You knew your mom was out there. Did she say anything to you?
Oh yeah, she held my hand. I forget what she said though. I think she just said it was her.
I know on one hand all the precautions are reassuring, but it's also a little unsettling to see his head stabilize like that. So what's going through your mind when you see all this?
Oh, well, all the news stories, you think about kids that have, been hurt, that have been paralyzed, and, that's really the first thing that goes through your head is I hope that this is something that, is not life-changing.
Blocker was immobilized, placed in a neck brace, and carried from the field.
Let's see, I remember getting into the ambulance. Being put in the ambulance, that's about it.
How was the ride?
It was all right. The guy, he messed up on the IV twice. That hurt pretty bad. Left a pretty big bruise. I told my mom that the guy had stabbed me when I got to the hospital.
Gallows humor aside, all wasn't perfectly well for Blocker. There were issues to overcome still, concussion issues.
10 years ago, you had just had a headache, you might have sat out for a little while and came back in. Now our school, and just about every school in Section 5, takes a computerized baseline test for concussion prevention, just in case someone does have a possibility of having concussion, that they'll take it and it'll tell them if they're up to their baseline. If they think they're a little bit delayed on their answers and stuff, it'll err on the side of caution, and we'll have them sit out.
If you add up all the forces that happened over the 2,000 hits and just you were to jam it into one, it's like falling out of an airplane. It's that much force that goes to the brain.
Dr. Jeff Bazarian is a concussion specialist at the U of R Medical Center. Bazarian's on the cutting edge of research in the study of neurodegeneration, especially as it applies to football. He's working on a blood test that will detect the presence of a concussion and take the guesswork out. He sees injuries like this all the time. He treated Jordan.
If you have symptoms of a concussion and you're not getting better within a week, seek a concussion specialist. They're in Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse. You just gotta seek them out. Don't wait.
Blocker had to get past Bavarian before he could get back on the football field.
Well, they said don't spend too much time with screens. Don't spend too much time looking at a TV or looking at a cell phone or texting, especially.
So you took that all pretty seriously?
Yeah, I tried to slow down on all of that and just give my brain some rest.
Blocker's physical therapy sessions aren't over, but he was back on the football field. The fact that it took 3 weeks means we're taking a little better care of our kids. But this is tricky business, and the stakes are high. All right, so I'm a parent. I got a kid who wants to play football, and I have some reservations. And I come to you to ask for what you think. What do you tell him?
Well, I'd say there's lots of positive things about football. If the game is played right and safely, I think it can be or right and correctly, it can be a safe sport. But I'm leery about it because of what we see in our research, that there's players that have subconcussive blows, never complain of a problem at all, but have some low-level damage on their MRI scans. So I'm concerned about that. Right now, we don't know how to prevent that. So I'm a little nervous. I guess I would kind of advise you with caution. If you really want to let your kid play, if there's lots of good reasons, just do it with caution.
Dr. Bazarian suggests that parents be especially vigilant when it comes to youth football, which doesn't have the same standardized procedures that the high schools do. Jordan Blocker, meanwhile, continues to play and play well at Brockport and plans to play at college next year. When we return, Kim Bernsen with our Vision Making the Grade segment, and later on, the region's two best high school football teams get their first look at each other in our Cellino and Barnes All-Sports High School Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Justin Maggio, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
Welcome back to the Vision Automotive High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Bernsen. Making the Grade is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, proud to be Rochester's #1 selling automotive group. This week, we honor Brighton's John Muir for making the grade. As a senior right tackle on his varsity football team and member of the wrestling team, John knows what it means to be a leader. His work is not only reflected by his outstanding grades in the classroom, but in his time he donates to the community. John is an active volunteer at Our Lady of Lourdes Roman Catholic Church, where he spends his weekends as a lector, hospitality minister, and altar server. He also donates his time to the Harbor House of Rochester, acting as a personal handyman. John hopes to be able to continue with this tremendous amount of volunteering in the future. Nominated by Fritz Killian, John Muir is Making the Grade. If you have an idea for our Making the Grade segment, a team or individuals making contributions off the playing field, you can contact us at info@classywolf.com. I'm Kim Bernsen. Here's Bill with our High School Sports Beat Plays of the Week.
These are our top football plays of the week, presented in cooperation with Varsity Media. At number 5, it's East High playing Wilson. East back in charge of the City League and doing it through the air. Justin Noy to Justin Stewart, good for 56 yards and a touchdown as he just gets in. Noy passed 6 for 10, 195 yards and 3 touchdowns, and added 89 yards rushing. At number 4, from the county, we have Schrader playing at Hilton, and for Webster, it's Bama Kinney, 55 yards and a touchdown run. Good speed, 19 attempts, 178 yards rushing, and 4 touchdowns, and Schrader defeats Hilton. Eastridge is playing at Batavia. In our number 3 slot, we have Demetrius Lewis, who gets wide, and he's clear for a 92-yard touchdown run. Lewis also added a 53-yard punt return. Big day for him, and Eastridge bounces back with a win over Batavia. At number 2, at Webster Thomas, the Titans taking on Gates Chili. And for the homestanding Titans, it is Steve Zaccardo up the gut, 98 yards on a kick return. He added 100 yards rushing, 3 total touchdowns, and Thomas is a 35-28 winner. In our number 1 slot, we have Greece Athena playing against Brockport. Athena's only touchdown was pretty spectacular. Signori Cappened, 74 yards with a touchdown run and a great race down the sideline. Athena was held scoreless in the second half, and Brockport wins it by a score of 24-10.
Hi, I'm Eileen O'Hara, and you're watching the Vision High School Sports Beat.
The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes. Car accident? Don't wait. Call 888-8888. Call Cellino and Barnes today. Hello and welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. This portion of the Sports Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes, your personal injury attorneys. They played in the Section 5 football finals a year ago. They'll probably play in them again this year. So this was the game in between. Dan Fates has our Cellino and Barnes All-Sports High School Game of the Week.
It was an early season matchup of two teams that could very well meet again in the sectional finals. Aquinas was the number 1 team in New York, while Pittsford wasn't far behind at number 12. Both were undefeated and looking forward to the rematch of last year's final, won by Aquinas 15-14.
Oh, just do what we do every week, and that's come out here, play for each other, play strong, playing for a bigger cause too, and that's helped kids reflect on this. This is a blessing to be part of something this big, and we respect very much what Aquinas brings, and we're ready for it.
Basically today I was really sort of calm. I told them, you know what you're doing, and let's go out and have fun and play as hard as we can and let the best team win.
What are your keys to success that you're looking for out of your team?
Well, we can't turn the ball over, and we got to play really good defense and stop them. No one's around here to stop them, so we got to try to stop them.
The Panthers have a high-powered offense averaging 38 points per game, while the Little Irish's defense has only allowed a total of 25 points. Asked if either was keeping anything in their bag of tricks for a potential rematch, both coaches laughed.
No, we're bringing up. Hey, we run power and play pass. I mean, we don't have a bag of tricks. So we're just going to try to muscle up and see if we can do things correctly and get after it.
No way. I mean, there's a lot of good teams around, so I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think this is a great regular season game, and then you got to move on.
The game started out with both offenses fighting off nerves in front of the packed stadium. Only 2 first downs combined through the first 5 possessions. After a great punt return by Alonzo Turney for Aquinas, the Little Irish was in business on Pittsford's 23-yard line. Luch Pietropalo took it from there as he ran over several defenders and scored from 6 yards out. AQ with the lead of 7-0 with 1:54 in the first quarter.
How big was it to get on the board first? It was good for us, but we've played from behind before, so I think, it wouldn't have made a big difference if they scored because we can really count on our defense.
Pittsford had an answer for Aquinas. After a shaky start, Jack Wallman found his rhythm in the Panthers' 4th drive, hooking up several times with wide receiver Jesse Connors.
The safety moved over to Mac's side, so we kind of took advantage of that.
You guys seemed real comfortable to see, kind of have that connection.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot in practice, not showing it a lot in the game, so it's good to see it going on the field.
Then on 4th and 1 on the Aquinas 9-yard line, Coach Mullinich kept his offense on the field. The Aquinas defense flexed its muscle and came up with the game's first big stop.
Go for it all the time. That's what we do. It's 4th and 1, especially on the plus side of the field. We're going to go for it.
Oh man, it was huge. I was extremely excited. It was fourth and short yardage, and we knew we had to get the big stop. And I knew if we get that stop, it would change the momentum of the game. I was really excited.
Next, it was Pittsford's defense to turn momentum. Aquinas marched the ball down the field in a 13-play drive, but the Panthers' defense didn't break. When the Little Irish missed a 22-yard field goal, the teams went into half 7-0.
There's no panic. Feel the presence of each other. The care, the love, the support, right? Feel it.
They are not going to give up. Don't think this is going to be a wild second half. They have too much pride.
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. We're in this ball game, kicking off to them. Defense is going to have to step up.
You have to stay together. If something goes bad, don't lose it.
Coming out of the break, the Panthers got the first emotional lift of the half when Matt Atkins stepped in front of a Jake Zembiak pass for the pick. Pittsford drove the ball to the Aquinas 9-yard line, but then it was their turn to miss the short field goal. From that point on, it was all the Little Irish. With the score at 14-0, Aquinas added on. Alonzo Turney played ball hawk and picked off the pass intended for Connors, and took it all the way to the house. The very next drive, Turney did it again, this time with a 76-yard interception return.
I knew I had a lot of ground to cover. I had a lot of players to beat, and I was tired. I don't think I missed any play until that one. And, I ran out of gas, and they caught me.
For now, Aquinas remains unbeaten, but there's always room for improvement.
Well, we just got to keep getting better. There's a lot of things we can do better, and I'm sure Keith's going to take his kids and work at it. And, if we both can keep going, maybe we meet again and we'll see what happens. See you guys again. Good game, bud. Good game.
We would like to thank our Sports Beat sponsorship partners, Ross Salino and Stephen Barnes, your personal injury lawyers, and of course the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.